Hello, hello.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome back to Stake Your Wealth.
That's right. The place to be.
The place to be with Greg and Mary Daphne. Today, we are talking about cryptocurrency.
Woo, hot topic. Seriously, right?
Yeah. Well, cryptocurrency is one of these funny topics because it goes up and down in terms of popularity when the price goes up or down.
Yeah.
And the price going up or down, of course, brings up the question, should you invest, right? Should you invest in cryptocurrency? Welcome to Stake Your Wealth, where we tackle all things related to personal finance, financial independence, and smart investments. If building wealth is a priority for you, be sure to click that subscribe button and join our crew at stakeyourwealth.com. In general, when things have price fluctuations, it's typically something that gets invested in.
Yeah.
Right? Because when a price goes up, if you bought it when it was lower and the price goes up, well, you've made a profit, right? You've made a good investment.
Yes.
Alternatively, you may invest in something at a certain price and then the price goes down and then you've lost money on your investment.
Right.
So basically anything that has a price fluctuation, likely there's some kind of investment market around it.
Mm-hmm.
In the case of cryptocurrency,
right.
People tend to invest in it similar to the way they might invest in a currency or a commodity, right? And so
like gold.
Like gold is a
right,
fantastic
would be a
example.
Commodity.
Exactly. And a currency, think of any sort of national currency around the world. Every country has their own currency. And the price of that currency is going to deviate from what we consider the reserve currency, which is the US dollar. So most things are based on how much something costs compared to the US dollar.
Right. Because you're pegging it against that, too.
Exactly. You need some reference, right? That's not to say that you don't have trades that happen outside the US dollar, right? You might be swapping euros for pounds.
Right, exactly.
But at the end of the day, most things tend to get valued in respect to the US dollar.
Right.
And cryptocurrency is no different, right? So when you look at the price of a Bitcoin, for example, well, what is the price? One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. Isn't that the price? Well, no, it's the price compared to US dollars.
Right. Or euros or British pounds.
British pounds. And early on, can you guess what the initial early price of a Bitcoin was?
I think it was really low.
Yeah, it was in the matter
less than $1, right?
Yeah. Famously, one of the first transactions with cryptocurrency was for a pizza.
Oh, right.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone bought let's just say Bitcoin was worth 1 cent at that time. So someone bought a pizza for, several thousand Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Can you guess what the price of Bitcoin is today?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. 10,000?
It's actually pretty close. It was 10,000 for most of the past year. It's now $40,000.
For one Bitcoin.
For one Bitcoin.
Yeah, that is insane.
So you can imagine the people who bought Bitcoin early on made a lot of money.
I was chatting with some friends the other day and, they're our age. They weren't too adamant about it. And it kind of surprised me in a way because they're very informed. They're very well educated. They're cultured and all of that. Like they read up on it. And I was surprised that even with, that kind of knowledge in the background and sort of the risk taking, that they are really completely averse to it. So it just goes to show, it's not something that is for everyone, but I think some people really believe in it and are quite gung-ho about it to a certain extent.
You touched on a very important aspect of investments in general.
Yeah.
What is your risk appetite?
Yeah,
right?
That's the thing.
How much risk are you willing to take? And in the investing world, generally speaking, the more risk you take, the more reward you're able to capture.
Right.
if it goes your way.
Right. High risk, high reward.
High risk, high reward.
If it goes your way, like you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's also, people rarely say the other side, which is high risk, high penalty, right? And so when there's high risk, it can go strongly in one direction or the other.
Yeah.
And the riskier something is, generally speaking, the less someone knows about it.
Right.
And so you're talking to your friends and they're not so into cryptocurrency. Chances are it's because they're not that familiar with it.
Yeah, they probably don't know that much about that specific thing, even though they read up on it and, more in a general sense, like in newspapers and whatnot.
Exactly.
But I remember a couple years ago when we were in Cambodia and we were at a restaurant and they accepted Bitcoin. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was really cool. So there have been what they call early adopters of Bitcoin.
That was really funny.
And certain shops around the world will take it. And it's particularly, I think, common in places like we were at a hostel there.
Yeah, it was like an expat
Yeah, it was like,
community.
like one of those youth hostels, sort of expat-y, affordable. But the point is you get a lot of people passing through from different countries and a lot of different currencies.
Yeah.
And that was Cambodia. And Cambodia's currency is, flippy-floppy too. It's not super stable. And so it's much easier in some respects to just choose a common currency that everyone has access to. And that's the beauty of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is something, people trade it like a commodity, like as if it were gold, but it also can function as a currency.
Yeah.
And it's accessible to anyone around the world.
Right. It's decentralized.
It's decentralized, so no one controls it. And so from that perspective, it's very, very powerful as a way to exchange value.
Yeah.
Right? That hostel provided us a beer, and in return, I provided them a small amount of Bitcoin.
Yeah. The food was good there too. I remember.
Food was delicious. Yeah.
Very nice.
So the point here is simply that Bitcoin has a lot of utility, but if you don't know much about it, it can be risky.
Yeah.
It can feel risky.
Yeah.
And so the people who invested a lot in Bitcoin tend to be the people who know a lot about Bitcoin.
Right.
And we're talking about Bitcoin explicitly here, but there's also some other cryptocurrencies that are pretty promising.
Ethereum.
Ethereum is a very interesting one. And Ethereum is not just a cryptocurrency, it's more like a platform. And Ether is the currency on the platform that you can conduct transactions with.
The names are really like very sci-fi.
I love the names.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. If you go to a website called coinmarketcap.com.
Yeah, I know. I checked it. It's crazy.
It's hilarious.
It's really funny.
The names of these things, there's Stella,
Yeah.
there's Ripple. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Just cool. And then there's some really uncreative ones like USD coin.
Yeah.
Or Zcash, Bitcoin Cash, BitGold, right?
Yeah. I get why people are a little bit like skeptical and averse just from the names themselves. Like it just sounds gimmicky. It sounds like, remember Neopets, that game that we had in middle school? It's like Neo money.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? It's like our Monopoly money. It just doesn't feel real in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. And frankly, a lot of it isn't, right? A lot of these cryptocurrencies are just random projects that, 2 or 3 people...
A high school project.
College project, could be a PhD, right? But the point is the projects, these aren't established companies, they're not established businesses.
Yeah.
And the price has very little to do with how much value they're producing and much more to do with...
Like the hype around it?
The hype around it.
Yeah,
How
so
much
good
marketing they can do. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, getting back to the original question, is cryptocurrency a good investment? Is Bitcoin a good investment? It really depends, on the risk appetite, right? How much risk are you willing to take? And B, how much sort of fundamental value is being created by what you're investing in?
Right.
Right. And so
how do you figure that out though?
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. You have to educate yourself, right?
Yeah.
You have to learn more about these things.
Yeah.
I'm very bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely believe in the value that they're creating. I genuinely believe in their purpose, their mission statement. And
where do people find that kind of information?
Nowadays, it's very, very, in fact, there's too much information.
Yeah.
But the best places to start are the ones that end in .org, I find.
Yeah.
The websites that end in .org
Yeah.
tend to not be in it to hype themselves up. And I would start with Ethereum.org has their own,
Right.
it might be ETH.org.
Okay.
But they have their own sort of website. And then Bitcoin doesn't have an owner. And so you can find certain websites that provide useful information. Avoid the websites that are really focused on the price and the trading values and the ups and downs. Those are interesting, maybe fun to follow, but they're not so much about informing you on the underlying technology.
Yeah, I would avoid anything where you see like on social media, like an ad that you get.
Yeah.
Probably not the best place to start educating yourself about something like this.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of like, I don't know what's the word for it, but it's like a little bit not credible information, and so you have to really do
There's
the
so
work.
many scams.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, scam. Yeah.
So many scams out there, so much misinformation about it. If you're new to the field, the best thing you can do, the best number thing, before you spend even a penny on this or invest even a penny, is just get educated. Spend at least a month just learning every day. Read an article. Start with the fundamentals. What is Bitcoin? See what pops up. What is Ethereum? What is cryptocurrency? What is the blockchain, right? Ask these very fundamental questions. Never in general, this is just general investment advice. Do not invest in something you do not understand.
Yes.
Right? The more you understand it, the more capable you are of making an educated decision. And the more you know about it, the more comfortable you can get putting money in. But in general also, if anything that's higher risk, start with a small amount.
Yeah.
Don't bet the farm in it, because yes, the reward can be huge. But on the flip side, if it goes the other way, you can lose it all.
Penalty.
Yeah.
And I think that's just good practice in general, with like the mentality of not putting all your eggs in one basket, which we've definitely spoken about on here before.
Totally. Yeah, it's all about a diversified portfolio. Yeah. And cryptocurrency can absolutely be part of that. Just go in cautiously and go in conservatively, right? And do so with a lot of knowledge and understanding of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you do that, by all means, go for it. The appreciation potential is enormous. There's no denying that. You want to be aware of the risks at the same time.
100%. And that just goes like, that's just good practice for life in general, right?
Totally. Yeah. So much of investment advice is really just life advice.
Yeah.
So.
And use your gut, like listen to your intuition and really inform yourself and make smart, educated choices. Right?
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next Stake Your Wealth episode.
That's right. Happy wealth staking.
Happy wealth staking.
Here we go.